Maps I find cool. The Scottish Highlands, the Appalachians, and the Atlas are the same mountain range, once connected as the Central Pangaean Mountains. No way, how did I not know that yet? So back when the continents were all stuck together, it was literally one big mountain range, and then they've gradually spread out over millions of years. That's so crazy to think about the mountains in the Scottish Highlands being connected to the mountains over on Western Africa. A 16th century map of Nicosia, Cyprus, and the city from above today. Oh, that is so cool. So obviously there's a circle right here, and then still 400 years later, very clear evidence of that same circle. So I've gone ahead and found it on Google Maps, and you can still see a very, very clear circle. Look at that. Apparently they were originally built as castle walls, but these days they're a car park. The true size of Africa, comparison of Africa's land area to selected countries/regions. So quite interesting to see Africa's height and Russia's width are roughly the same. Entirety of the USA comfortably fits inside of Africa. All of China fits with like 2/3 to spare. Brazil squeezes in easily. All of Europe is also in, and you don't even have to move Iceland. And India nestles nicely on the Horn of Africa. Africa is bloody huge. USA's regional preferences for curse words. Asshole. I'm sorry, I literally just laughed at the word arsehole on a map. I just didn't expect it to be there. So the warmer the colour, the more comfortable that area is with using the word arsehole. So you can see in the Deep South, as expected, people are not up for it. They're much more strict about curse words. Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to say every word without getting demonetized, but it is interesting to look at. Crap, for example. I say crap all the time. I did not realise people thought it was a swear word. But it looks like most of America are pretty up for crap. That's nice. It's so interesting seeing the data vary so much, because you'd think people that weren't up for swearing would generally just not be up for all swearing. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. What does world tour actually mean? Sometimes a music band or artist announces a world tour. Where do they go in reality? I've analysed 355 world tours of more than 200 bands and artists described on Wikipedia and found out they have rather specific apprehension of the word. Okay, so basically this shows what a world tour actually means. We'll go to Europe and we'll go to the USA. Percentages of people that believe in God. It is down to 12% in UK now. Whoa, the numbers are so low everywhere. 14%, 19%, 10% in Germany. And then we don't have data for everywhere, but more traditional Balkan areas. That's roughly the only place in Europe where it's still quite religious. Bosnia and Herzegovina being highest at 66%. Our religion really is dying out, isn't it? What do you think? Like another 100 years and it could be down to zero for a few of these countries? The Empire of Japan at its territorial height. 1943? That is crazy. I literally know nothing about the Japanese Empire. But with the date, obviously it must be related to World War II. But apparently they had control of both Koreas, of vast amounts of China, so much of Indonesia, Myanmar, Cambodia. That's absolutely mad. 50 states in 50 days, the entire country. A user by the name of Peppered Sherbet has created this beautiful map, if you can call it a map, of the entire USA, and you can zoom in to see a huge amount of detail. Look at that, that looks beautiful. It's interesting to see how flat it is in this area of California. It's like someone's got a razor and they've just like gone whoop. I like the look of Hawaii and Alaska as well, very epic. London Airport's passport sorting system. Hang on, let me have a look. So anywhere in the EU, Australia, Canada, Japan, Iceland, is that Liechtenstein? I think so. New Zealand, Norway, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland, and the USA. You have to head into this lane, and every other country has to go in another lane. That's interesting. It's Japan and South Korea that surprised me, because everywhere else is like Commonwealth stuff or Europe. I like thinking about the Pope having to do the orange lane. It does seem like overall it's basically first world countries in one lane and then everyone else in another, which I guess, you know, it's not a great look for London. Whoa, a map of Mexico carved on the wall at a Yucatan bar. That looks so good. They've not drawn it, they've actually like cracked into the wall. That's really, really cool. What a nightmare if you slipped up though, because you'd have to replaster that bit of the wall and they'd always be able to tell. Oh dear me, I'm stressed. Google Maps new update with 3D preview? No way. Get me on Google Maps. Alright, ready? Oh my god, it's happening! It's happening! And it's 3D! That looks so cool! Let's do it different. Here we go. Ah, round it goes, and it's got like a bit of a foggy haze. Oh, that is beautiful. What about London? Yes, Buckingham Palace! Look at all the beautiful trees! This is the happiest I've ever been. Oh my god, the Colosseum! Yeah! Let's go to Sydney Opera House. Where is it? Wait for it. Ah. Well, that's sad. North America 77 million years ago. Need to get me bearings here. I'm very confused. Okay, I've spotted modern Mexico down here. 77 million years ago. What? Yeah, I mean, it's basically unrecognizable. Greenland still up top doing its thing, though. All dry at this point in time. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Oh, this is amazing. This map shows you how far a 5-hour train ride will take you, departing from any city in Europe. Link to interactive map in the first comment. Right, let's play it ourselves. Right, whoever made this is incredibly clever. Oh my my god, there is so much data here. So this is how far we'd get in 5 hours from Sudbury Station. Let's go specifically to London. There's almost too much data here, so this is London King's Cross. So in 5 hours, we can actually make it to Scotland. And if we scroll out, we can even make it to Paris and Belgium in 5 hours. God, this is clever. Who put this together? Paris have got some fantastic rail links. Germany, you can basically do the entirety of Germany from the center. This is epic. That's really cool. Who knew the range of the Venus flytrap was so small? So they literally just grew naturally in North and South Carolina, USA. That's crazy. European divorce rate. Whoa, 65% of marriages end in divorce over in Russia. 67% in Ukraine. 41% in the UK. They do say half of all marriages end in divorce. Divorce numbers are really, really high. Me and Becky have just decided, like, no point really. This sounds like a bit of a faff on. We'll do it eventually, but we'd rather use the money to do some traveling or something in the meantime. Most popular girl name by state from 1960 to 2012. Oh my god, yes, I love these kind of things. So Mary was all the rage in 1961, and then Lisa took over in 1964. Isn't it fascinating seeing how people just follow the same patterns all the time? Michelle jumping in on Colorado. Michelle's having a mad one. Oh my god, Jennifer over in the 70s. Everyone is just so unoriginal. It's fantastic to see. Right, Jennifer still taking over in the 80s. Amanda popped in for a little bit there. Oh, Ashley is getting big. Jessica, big takeover there. 87, still Jessica being most popular. Right, we're reaching the 90s. I'm thinking Rachel probably going to start taking over kind of end of the 90s as Friends becomes really popular, but we will see. Emily, okay, that's when I was born. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about Rachel. Emily, 2001. I didn't think Emily would be so popular, but there it is. Emma's jumping in. Ah, that one could be Friends related. Rachel and Ross named their child Emma, and that'll have been around the same time. Right, Madison jumping on in 2005. Emily's still most popular overall though. Oh, it's quite interesting. I hadn't been paying any attention to Hawaii, but you can see I don't think it's following any of the same patterns, because obviously it's just culturally different. So you can see while Emily's really popular, they've got Taylor, they've got Kayla, and that is not being copied anywhere else in the US. They have moved on to Emma though, to be fair, then Isabella, which is their own thing again, more or less anyway. Alright, what we ended on? Sophia. I feel like Hawaii was potentially ahead of the times there. Marine traffic didn't load the background and ended up making an interesting world map using only current marine traffic. That's so cool. Obviously it makes sense, but it is still cool to see just perfect continent outlines. World map from 1548. Whoa. So time when they hadn't yet discovered Australia, which is pretty crazy to think about. Also not quite right on Antarctica, but everywhere else looking pretty good. Oh my god, a shark that is being tracked on GPS accidentally painted a shark on the map. This is the route that they've done, and it's literally created a shark. There's the tail, there's the fin, there's the big head. That is insane. Oh my god, what if they knew? Whoa, Globe for the Blind. It's 3D. I've never seen anything like that. It's got Braille all over it. That's amazing. Why have I literally never seen one of them before? I really, really like that. Chinese vertical world map. Oh, I like it. Very, very nice. Oh, it's weird seeing everything getting angled like that, but I like it very much. The Arctic Circle crosses Iceland only on a little island. Oh, that's so cute. There's a tiny little island there. I want to go to Google Maps. Yes, this looks exactly how I expected it to look. Whoa, for a moment I didn't know what was going on. Anyway, let's move on. Whoa, Brazil plus Pluto. They've only gone and plonked Pluto on top of Brazil, and that just shows you how small Pluto is. Whoever claimed that Pluto could have been a planet? I don't think so. Well, this is crazy. Estimated route of the voyages of Monchip Ape across North America, a Native American explorer from the Yazoo tribe and the first person in recorded history to venture across North America from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific. What an incredible journey that must have been. Yet all we hear about is the stupid evil Europeans that came over and claimed all the land. So sad. Oh, there we go. There goes my camera. Well, we'll end on this lovely map of home burial regulations. Do you know what? I don't think that's the worst thing in the world if done correctly. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please do subscribe if you've not already. Let's try and beat the population of Fiji. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.